Today we will start about breast cancer. Breast cancer means nothing but it is also known as breast carcinoma. It is an uncontrolled growth of epithelial cells in the breast and it is the second most common cancer in women. It doesn't cause any pain or discomfort until they have spread to the nearby tissues, and it is also a second leading cause of the death in women after lung cancer. They are the milk producing glands. When we are going to describe about breast, these are the milk producing glands and they sit on the chest wall, either the side of the breastbone, and they lie on the top of the ribs and pectoral muscles. It consists of three main parts. When we see the breast, these are milk producing glands, sit on chest wall either side of the breastbone and top of the ribs and pectoral muscles. It contains three parts. The first one is glandular tissue. When we see this glandular tissue, it makes milk which is made up of 15 to 20 lobules. Here we are seeing that the pink color is a one glandular tissue. Each side it consists of 15 to 20 lobules. Inside each of these lobules there are, here we are seeing that the grape like structures known as alveoli, which are the modified sweat glands surrounded by a basement membrane made up of a collagen. When we clearly see this alveoli, there is a layer of alveolar cells. When we are seeing this pink color, these are alveolar cells which secrete breast milk into the lumen. The middle space is the lumen, which is the center of the gland. Around the alveolus, a special myoepithelial cells. We are seeing that an orange color. This is the myoepithelial cells which squeeze down and push the milk out of the lumen. Means from this lumen it squeezes the milk and then to the luciferous ducts and it brings out of the pores of the nipples. Means simply alveolar cells secrete milks and enters into the lumen. After milk enter into the lumen, the myoepithelial cells, means which is the outer layer of alveolar cells, it squeeze and push the milk out of the lumen to the alveolus and then to the luciferous ducts and to the nipple. And when we go to the second part, which is nothing but stroma, means we are seeing that here a blue color lines which are surrounded by the glandular tissues, which contains adipose tissues. We know that adipose tissues means nothing but the fat tissue, and this make up majority of the breast. This fat tissue or adipose tissue makes a majority of the breast. These are ligaments. There are some ligaments called Cooper ligaments. Means beside of the stroma there are ligaments called Cooper ligaments run through the stroma and help keep in that place. These ligaments attach to the inner surface of the breast on one end and pectoralis muscles on another end. They attach to the skin, means they attach to the surface of the breast and pectoralis muscle on the other side. Just beneath the skin covering the breast, there is a network of tiny lymphatic vessels. We are seeing the lymphatic vessels that drains the limbs. What is the functioning of the lymphatic vessels in the breast? Means which drains the lymph. These lymphatic muscles, these lymphatic vessels are the third part we are seeing, which is a fluid containing cellular waste products and WBC. These lymphatic vessels drains the lymph, where a fluid containing cellular waste products and WBC, which contains a fluid containing waste products and WBC. These vessels mainly drain into a group of lymph nodes in the axilla or armpit. Means they mainly drain into the lymph nodes in axilla or armpit. Now the cells of these glandular tissues, what are the cells we are seeing in these glandular tissues have receptors for certain hormones like estrogens, progesterone. These both are released by the ovaries, and prolactin, which is released by the pituitary gland. These cells in the glandular tissues have receptors, and hormones like estrogen, progesterone released by the ovaries, and prolactin hormone, which is released by the pituitary gland. These hormones stimulates the alveolar cells. Alveolar cells are the cells which are containing in the glandular tissue. This stimulates the alveolar cells to divide. Alveolar cells divide and increase in the number, which makes the lobule enlarged. So we are seeing this alveolar cells is enlarged because of these hormones stimulates the alveolar cells to divide and the number is increased. Without these hormones, the glandular cells, particularly alveolar cells, can survive and undergo apoptosis. Apoptosis is nothing but a programmed cell death. For example, if we are seeing after menopause, estrogen production is stopped. After stopping the estrogen production, it leads to the death of the alveolar cells, and the breast tissue is replaced by the fat. Means when there is a death of the alveolar cells in the breast, those after death, the cells are replaced by the fat. During the menstrual cycle, means during this cycle, there is an increased secretion of estrogen and progesterone from the ovaries, and after menstruation the secretion decreases. Means during the cycle the estrogen and progesterone is increased. After the completion of the menstruation, the secretion of these hormones is decreased. As a result, during every menstrual cycle, the alveolar cells undergo division and apoptosis. Means the cycle is repeating. Alveolar cells produced estrogen and progesterone is secreted, and the breast size is increased, as well as the alveolar cells undergo division and apoptosis. After division of the after death of the alveolar cells, those breast is replaced by the fat. This is the cycling process. Generally, not only women's but also men's have breast tissues, but they lack the milk secreting alveoli. Next, each time cells divide, there is a chance that a genetic mutation will occur. When the cell division occurs, there is a mutation also will occur, and this mutation can lead to formation of tumors. So with more menstrual cycles, with increasing of the age, there will be increasing of the menstrual cycle, as well as when there is a more menstrual cycle, there is an increased risk of tumor formation, because in each menstrual cycle there is a cell division and there is a cell death and increasing of the breast size. During each this cycling process, there is a formation of tumors. So risk of tumor formation is there. That's why there is an increased risk of breast cancer with things that increase the number of menstrual cycle, like early age of menarche, which is nothing but first menstrual bleeding, and at the last stage of menopause. Similarly, when medications containing estrogen also increases the risk of breast cancer. There are some medications which contains estrogen that also increases the risk of breast cancer. Other than this, there are also environmental risk factors such as ionizing radiations, chest X-ray and CT scans. On other side, some things that are associated with a decreased risk of breast cancer includes early pregnancy and longer time breastfeeding. There is a decreased risk of breast cancer, means early pregnancy and longer time breastfeeding can decreases the risk of breast cancer. Breast cancer can also be linked to specific mutations in tumor suppressor genes, such as what is the tumor suppressor genes in breast cancer? Means BRCA1 and BRCA2 are the two breast cancer genes, and also TP53, which normally slow down the cell division and make cells die if they divide uncontrollably. If the cell division is continuing uncontrollably, the TP53 gene slows down the cell division and makes the cells die. In mutations, the mutations in BRCA1 and BRCA2, which are the autosomal dominant mutations which can be inherited and cause familial breast cancer. In addition to the breast cancer, they also cause an increased risk of ovarian cancer due to these mutations. Some breast cancers also have mutations in ERBB2 gene that increases the human epidermal growth factor receptor 2 or HER2, which is when activated and promotes the growth of the cells. Generally, in some cases, males also occurs breast cancer. Usually, this breast cancer is caused by inherited mutations in BRCA1 and BRCA2 genes. In males, the breast cancer is occurred due to the inherited mutations occurs in BRCA1 and BRCA2 genes. Once a cancer causing mutation occurs, the affected cells, that is epithelial cells that lines the ducts or lobules, begins to grow and replicate out of control and forms a tumor. After mutation occurs, means epithelial cells begins to grow and replicate out of control, and there occurs and they form a tumor. This tumor also called an in situ carcinoma, which is initially localized within the basement membrane of the alveoli, and these are of two types. The first one is ductal carcinoma in situ, which is nothing but where the tumor cells grows from the wall of the ducts into the lumen. If it is left untreated, then in over time it can cross the basement membrane to become invasive ductal carcinoma. And also cancer cells from this ductal carcinoma in situ can migrate along the lactiferous ducts through the pore onto a skin over nipple. Means they migrate over the nipple. This is called, so this condition we are calling this as Paget disease of the nipple. These cancer cells release a substance called mobility factor, which helps them break into and settle into the in between squamous epithelial cells. As the cancer cells move into epithelium, there is an inflammation which brings extracellular fluid out through breaks into the skin. This fluid then dries and forms crust over the skin surface. The second one is lobular carcinoma in situ, where we are seeing the clusters of tumor cells grows within the lobules without invading ducts and causes alveoli to enlarge. Means in this condition, there doesn't occur an invasion, but it causes alveoli to enlarge. In the first condition, we are seeing the invasive. If it is untreated, in the first one means ductal carcinoma, if it is untreated, it causes invasion. But in the second one, it doesn't invade. And unlike ductal carcinoma, it doesn't invade. It doesn't form any invasive lobular carcinoma. This lobular carcinoma got its names many years ago, before it was realized that it's not a breast cancer, in the sense means that it doesn't invade any surrounding tissues. Just like healthy alveolar cells, some breast cancer cells have some hormone receptors that allow them to grow in the presence of hormones. Based on the type of the hormone receptors, breast cancers are of three types. The first one is estrogen receptor positive and HER negative carcinoma, which is the most common one. And the second one is estrogen receptor positive or negative and HER2 positive and the third one is estrogen receptor negative and HER2 negative. These are the three types we are seeing. And what are the complications of breast cancer? Means the tumor which is occurred in the breast cancer, it causes local inflammation which causes damage to the suspensory ligaments and lactiferous ducts. When it causes damage to these ligaments and ducts, it results in fibrosis. In this, the cancer can invade the nearby tissues like pectoral muscles below and the skin above. They also enter and block the thin lymphatic vessels which causes lymph to build up in the interstitial space. Means they block the lymphatic vessels and build up in the interstitial space. Normally this fluid build up would cause a swelling. When the fluid is when the lymph is build up in the interstitial space, it causes swelling. But the attachment of the suspensory ligaments doesn't allow the skin to stretch. Due to the presence of these suspensory ligaments, it doesn't allow the skin to stretch. So the skin becomes thickened and dimpled like an orange peel, called we are calling that as PRD orange appearance. Finally, the tumor cells can spread via blood to the spine, brain and bone, and then lymph to the axillary lymph nodes and other breast. If we see in males, breast tissue is very thin, which makes it easier for cancer to spread to underlying tissues. If we go for symptoms, we are seeing that hard and painless lump or swelling, which is the most common in upper and outer part of the breast. And the second one is swelling under armpit if the cancer spread to the axillary lymph nodes. The breast can become immobile and fixed or stuck onto the chest wall due to infiltration if the cancer cells spread into the pectoral muscles. Dimpling of the skin over breast due to involvement of the skin, and fibrosis of lactiferous ducts and suspensory ligaments causes retraction or pulling into the nipples. When we see that Paget disease is present, it can cause itching, redness, crusting and discharge from the nipples. These are the symptoms what we are seeing in the breast cancer. If we go for diagnosis is usually begins by feeling a breast lump. We can feel the presence of lumps. It can be treated effectively if it is detected early in the course of disease. So regular screening with mammography. Mammography means nothing but which is an X-ray of breast is done in high risk individuals. In addition to the mammography, imaging using ultrasound and MRI may be done to detect the tumor. Finally, a biopsy of swelling or fine needle aspiration and cytology, where the fluid from swelling is taken, may be done to confirm the diagnosis. To determine the risk of the breast cancer, each one is staged by TNM system. TNM system is nothing but T means it determines the size of the tumor, whether it has grown in nearby areas, that is chest wall muscles, and N indicates that degree in which cancer has spread to the lymph nodes, especially axillary nodes. M indicates the degree in which cancer has spread to other sites or metastasized. Each of these categories is ranked from 0 to 4, where the fourth one is most severe. In this, the combinations of substages determine the stage groups. If you go for treatment is based on type and stages of the cancer. Generally, what are the treatments involved in cancer means surgery, radiation therapy, chemotherapy and hormonal therapy. We already know that radiation therapy and chemotherapy. If you go for surgery, it is different for different individuals based on their stage. In surgery, if the localized tumors are removed surgically by partial mastectomy, where the affected part is removed. But in case means localized tumors are removed in a process of partial mastectomy, where only the affected part is removed. In case of large tumors which have spread to the nearby tissues, in case of large tumors, we are seeing that if it is spread to the nearby tissues, the entire tissue is removed by total mastectomy. Means entire breast is removed. In surgery, we are seeing the two mastectomy, partial and total. In partial, only localized tumors are removed. Means only affected part is removed. In total mastectomy, the tumor is spread to the other nearby tissues. So entire breast is removed. In addition, nearby structures like lymph nodes may also be removed if cancer has metastasized. Now, if we see for hormonal therapy, it is used when tumor cells have hormone receptors like estrogen and HER2 receptors. It may include medications which block the formation and or effects of estrogen. In hormonal therapy, it may include other medications which blocks the formation of estrogens. This is about the breast cancer. So finally, if we see about the breast cancer, there are three parts. We are seeing glandular tissue, stroma, and the third one is lymphatic vessels. After that, there are some medications like estrogen can also increase the risk of breast cancer, and mutations, breast cancer genes like BRCA1 and BRCA2 genes, and also TP53 genes which causes which are